Over the past 3 decades, India has witnessed a curious phenomenon. As the economy grew rapidly and the per capita income zoomed, the average calorie intake fell steadily. The latest data on nutritional intake published by the National Sample Survey Office shows the average calorie intake has gone up in the country for the first time in 3 decades, overturning the earlier trend. Rural calorie intake 2011 to 12. There have been a few big changes between 1993 to 1994 and 2011 to 2012 when it comes to average rural calorie intake levels across states. Uttar Pradesh has moved up 3 notches to the top of the league tables. Gujarat has dropped 4 notches to move to the bottom of the league tables. Among southern states, Andhra Pradesh has seen a big increase in average rural calorie intake, moving up 5 notches to the 5th position among states ranked according to calorie intake levels. Urban calorie intake 2011 to 12. Unlike the wide variations in the rural calorie intake levels across states, urban calorie intake levels are roughly similar. As the chart shows, the gap between calorie intake levels of northern and southern states is very small when it comes to urban India. Rural calorie intake. While the calorie intake levels of richer deciles are significantly higher than that of poor deciles, the gap between the two groups has shrunk between 1993 to 1994 and 2011 to 2012. As the chart shows, in rural India the calorie deficit of the bottom deciles compared with the national average have shrunk considerably in 2011 to 2012, indicating a progressive shift in calorie intake patterns. Urban calorie intake. A similar shift has occurred even in urban India. The gap between the calorie intake level of poorer deciles and the national average has shrunk considerably. Rural protein consumption. The protein consumption of the bottom deciles have fallen significantly below the national average, while those of the top deciles have increased substantially over the past 2 decades. Urban protein consumption. In urban India though, the shifts in protein consumption have been more progressive, with the bottom deciles gaining more than the top deciles.